everyone, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be building the new Dan Heng and testing him out. Before we get into today's video, I would love to know, what is your favorite team in Honkai Star Rail? If you enjoy videos like these, consider subscribing to see more content from me, leave a like to support the video, and real quick before we get into today's video, I wanted to show you all a way to get cheaper Oneric shards, and also I wanted to say thank you to Loot Bar for sponsoring today's video. Loot Bar is a website where you can purchase Oneric shards at a discount, and all you have to do is provide your Star Rail UID, pick the pack you want to purchase, and boom! Within a few minutes, you'll see the Oneric shards within your account. I've actually been using Loot Bar for a while now to get discounted Oneric shards for my summons, and my friends have also gifted me Oneric shards through Loot Bar as well. And not only that, if you also play Genshin Impact, Withering Waves, Endless Zone Zero, you can also get discounted currency for those games on Loot Bar as well. Loot Bar has great reviews from users. You can check out Loot Bar using my link in the description down below or my pinned comment. And now let's carry on with today's video. After logging into Star Rail, I was able to immediately claim Dan Heng, and he looks very cool. I really like his design. And after claiming Dan Heng, I got materials to get him to level 60, which is definitely helpful for making this building process easier. The goal will be to get Dan Heng to level 80, Light Cone to level 80, Traces to level 8 or higher, and maxed out relics for the new 4-piece shield set and 2-piece Lushaka. We'll also be aiming for around 4,000 attack or higher and 134 speed or above. Starting with his levels, this was pretty easy to get him to level 60 as the materials were handed out for free, and for level 70 and 80, I went to go farm for enough materials to ascend him higher. After some farming, I was able to get him to level 80, and it was now time to pick a light cone option, which the options here would be to pull his signature, use a Venturine signature light cone on him, consider using the Battle Pass light cone on him, or using a high base attack light cone. I decided to try to see if I can get the light cone for him, which in the first 10 pull, I did get a 5-star, and it was Himiko's light cone, so not the light cone we're looking for, unfortunately, so we ended up losing a 75-25 on the very first 10 pull, but no big deal. I can just do a couple more 10 pulls now that I was guaranteed, and unfortunately, it did take a bit, but I was able to get his light cone. This would have honestly just been better if Himiko's light cone was just Dan Heng's light cone, but regardless, I was able to get Dan Heng his signature light cone. I was able to get his signature to level 80 and moved on to the traces, which I heavily pre-farmed traces for him to ensure that he would at least be 888 with all of his big traces and mini stat traces unlocked. Now as for relics, I did not have as many pieces for him as I would have wanted. A lot of my pre-farming went into the traces. So I tried relic farming and leveling up some pieces for him, and this process did take me a little bit, and it was a bit painful to say the least. Eventually though, I ended up crafting a couple of pieces hoping for better luck there, since I wanted to just get a bit more speed on my Dan Heng, as I wasn't getting too lucky with my speed rolls. Eventually I was able to acquire and build these pieces for him, and this did allow me to at least get to my goal of over 4,000 attack and over 134 speed. I would say he was definitely a bit easier to build, especially considering that we do get those free resources to at least get him to level 60, and from there, you're primarily focusing on attack and speed for his substats. So I would say building him wasn't too difficult overall. I'm pretty satisfied with how my Dan Heng turned out, and I thought real quick before we test out Dan Heng, let's go over the benefits he'll be able to provide for a team. Dan Heng is able to make one ally a bond mate. This now means that ally has a summon referred to as Soul Dragon. For those that have Sunday, you'll now be able to take advantage of Sunday's full skill buffs with the synergy. As for Dan Heng's other perks, he'll provide frequent team-wide shields, an attack buff for the bond mate, and he can also enhance Soul Dragon with his ultimate. This will now allow Soul Dragon to deal follow-up attacks for its next 2 actions. Now that we've done a very brief mini overview of Dan Heng, let's try him out with my characters. So I think we should actually try out Dan Heng with my Feixiao, as Feixiao is just one of my favorite characters on my account. She's very fun to play with, so let's try with Feixiao, and I'll also try without Sunday as well. Okay, wait, the way she loaded in there was kind of weird, but whatever. We're gonna try this with Sunday, and then right after we will try it without Sunday. And let's just get straight into it, see how it goes. I absolutely love my Feixiao so much. Feixiao's gonna come in with her follow-up. Dan Heng is going to make Feixiao the bond mate, which is awesome. Now I can just basic attack. We did get Dan Heng's ultimate, so we will take advantage of that. Enhance Soul Dragon, which now means Soul Dragon will be able to deal a follow-up attack when it is its turn. We can use Cipher's skill. Alrighty, Soul Dragon's gonna come in. Well, bam, from Cipher, and what we could do is just use Sunday's buff here on Feixiao. With Feixiao, we could just skill. There we go. Advance forward Feixiao. With Feixiao, we can just use her ultimate here, and we're going to be able to deal some massive damage like so. Boom, there we go. Now with Feixiao, I'm just going to use her skill. Follow up here with her ultimate, and I believe this should be enough to kill this enemy right here. Yeah, there we go. And boom! Now Soul Dragon's going to come in with the follow-up, and now we can just focus on this enemy right here, which should be pretty easy to do. There we go. We have another Feixiao ultimate. And we are going to get hit here. Perfectly fine. We're getting more shield here from Soul Dragon. And we can just skill. We will have to use an ultimate very soon, but I rather get some more Flying Aureus stacks before we have to do that. Alright, there we go. We did also get Dan Heng's ultimate, so let's take advantage of that. Boom. Feixiao's going to come in with the follow-up. There comes in Soul Dragon. Now we can use Feixiao's ultimate. I believe this might be enough to kill right here. But bam! Yep, there we go. Soul Dragon's gonna come in. And now with Feixiao. Oh, shoot. We should have actually swapped the coin to the other enemy first. But it's fine. We'll just use the ultimate anyway. No big deal. And boom! There we go. So we are gonna get attacked here. With Cipher, I'm just gonna switch. Ready. With Feixiao, I will just skill. With Dan Heng, I can basic attack. Cipher is gonna come in with the follow-up, so will Feixiao. And now with Sunday, we can reapply his buff onto Feixiao and advance her forward. Now with Feixiao, we will use her ultimate. I'm trying to see if this is actually enough to kill right here. So then we could skill on Japard. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we can focus all in on Japard, which should be pretty easy to do. Boom. Now we can use Dan Heng's ultimate. There we go. And let's see. Okay. Soul Dragon's gonna come in with a follow-up. Boom. Now with Feixiao. Skill. We're just gonna get some more stacks here. Advance her forward. Now we can use her skill once again. Soul Dragon's gonna come in with the follow-up. Feixiao comes in with another follow-up. And now we technically have two Feixiao ultimates, which I think this is actually going to be enough to kill right here. And we still have the Cipher ultimate too. There we go. Yay, we did it! Okay. Let's now try this with Robin instead, so we won't be getting the full skill buff from Sunday, but rather we'll just have Robin on our team. So we replace Sunday with his sibling for today, and I'm pretty sure we'll get a pretty similar performance, but I did just want to show this team with Sunday and then also just try it out with Robin. All right, so with Robin here, we're just going to use her skill. With Dan Heng, we are just going to basic attack. We will get attacked here. With Dan Heng, I'm just going to use his ultimate. And we will be using Robin's ultimate once Feixiao gets her turn. With Cipher, same thing as before. We're going to use her skill. Soul Dragon is about to come in with the follow-up, which results in more Flying Aureus now for Feixiao. We can use Feixiao's skill. Now we can use Robin's ultimate. And now I can also follow up here with Feixiao's ultimate. There we go. Boom. Follow up here with another ultimate. And there we go. So that enemy is a goner. And now we could just basic attack with Cipher. Cipher will come in with the follow-up. With Dan Heng, same thing. And with Feixiao, skill as well. Soul Dragon will come in with a follow-up, which is great, as this will result in more Flying Aureus for us. We can skill. There we go. Cipher's gonna come in with a follow-up. Now with Dan Heng, we can use his ultimate. And boom! Now we can basic attack, follow up here with Feixiao's ultimate, and this should be enough. Yep, this is enough to defeat this enemy right here. 1,000,000 damage as well. All right, so now with Cipher, what we're gonna do is change who the coin is on with her skill, and also follow up here with Feixiao's ultimate. And wha-bam, there we go. All right, so now we will get attacked a little bit here. I'll just use Feixiao's skill on Japard. With Dan Heng, I will just basic attack. We'll also use Dan Heng's ultimate right here. There we go. And now what we could do is just use Feixiao's ultimate, finish off this enemy right here. Honestly, very overkill with the damage, but it is fine. We'll be able to get more stacks here for Feixiao anyway. So with Robin, I can actually just basic attack. We'll be able to get enough energy to get her ultimate. And we're also looking very good on our shields as well. With Feixiao, skill. With Dan Heng, we can just basic attack. Feixiao's gonna come in with a follow-up. Now I can advance forward the entire team once again. And we will also use Feixiao's ultimate right here. There we go. Now with Cipher, we could just basic attack, use Feixiao's skill. Boom! Yeah, and now we have another Feixiao ultimate, so once again, 14% with Japard. We'll actually just finish this fight off here with Cipher, why not? And boom! 1.5 million, almost 1.6 million right there, and we were able to get a 0 cycle with either team. I'm sure if you had a character like Triby, same thing would happen. Let's actually look at my Feixiao real quick. I was able to get her second Eidolon, which I do feel like when it comes to this Eidolon in particular, this is really nice, especially with Dan Heng on the team, since for every 1 instance of a follow-up attack launched by allies, Feixiao will gain 1 point of Flying Aureus, so whenever Soul Dragon uses their follow-up, this will result in an entire point of Flying Aureus. And this will be really good alongside another follow-up attacker on the team. For example, in this case, we have Cipher, but of course, other follow-up attackers can work. Topaz, we can have a character such as Boba March, Moza, and so on. And Feixiao is just overall one of my favorite characters, as I said, to play. So I was very excited to test out Dan Heng on my account in particular. And yeah, if anyone was curious also how my Feixiao relics look, here's how the relics look. I'd love to know if you all built Dan Heng, and if you did, how have you been all enjoying him? And yeah, I hope all of you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye bye!